everyone, it's Alistair here and welcome back to my channel. Today I've got another segment revolving around Meet My Team, and I have two of my members here today to have a chat to. So without further ado, I'll get them to introduce themselves. I'll pop over to that side.
I'm John, and I'm from Tasmania, and this is my 5th tattoo.
Awesome, mate.
Oh, I'm Bill. I'm from Scotland, and this is my first tattoo.
Awesome. So aside from you obviously here, what do you guys do when you're back home? So what are you doing?
Well, I'm living the dream. I managed to turn my hobbies into a living, and so my hobbies are hiking and piping, and so teaching people mountaineering and hiking skills is one side of it, and also playing and teaching piping.
Yeah, you can give your business a plug here, John, if you want.
Okay then, all right then. So the next time you're in Tasmania and want to hike or climb a mountain, well, Ascent Fitness, you want to have a look at that, and then always happy to follow. You actually find me on the Bagpipe Guy on Facebook. If I'm sort of putting up some snaps each day talking about what it's like to be here, so just gives it another aspect on top of this. So yeah, go and check out both of those.
Do you take your pipes on your tours as well in Tasmania?
Yeah, it's been known to happen. So the highest mountain in Tassie is Mount Ossa, and it's just over 1,600 metres above sea level, and it's a 3-day trip. Get to go in, and the pipes have been up there.
Beautiful. That's awesome. I might have to take a trip across to join you, John.
Welcome anytime.
No way, let's do that too.
Yeah, sounds good.
Have yourself, Phil? What do you do?
I am just going in to be a student at Heriot University, studying mechanical engineering.
Okay.
It'll be my first year come September.
No worries. You're looking forward to getting into that.
So yeah, this has been like kind of a taster session as to what living alone in the middle of Edinburgh is going to be like.
Living alone at the tattoo.
Whoa. Yeah.
Okay. Might be slightly different.
He died.
Like,
without mum and dad is what I pick.
Awesome. So we got actually a really cool, diverse team right here, actually, from two different perspectives. So this is going to be a really cool chat. So from your perspective, Bill, because this is your first one, how have you found it so far?
Well, to be honest, I've loved every single minute of it. I wasn't expecting so much of a big collab. It was like a big family. It's just like amazing to see how everybody comes together over the course of basically a weekend.
Yeah.
The days sometimes were long, but it was worth it.
Worth it in the end.
Yeah, I'm much so.
How about yourself, John? You're obviously five-time tattoo returnee. So how I guess from your perspective, you know how you finding this year, and what brings you back? Because obviously 5 times, it's quite a lot of times to come all the way from Tasmania to Edinburgh every year.
Yeah, well, it's a nice break from work. The Launceston where I live is not a big town, and I find it very difficult to have a holiday there. And so to be able to come over here, and this is I guess the classic busman's holiday where you're not really having a break, but it is nice to come over here and have it as a circuit breaker. So I set my business's yearly program. It goes from September through to the middle of July.
Yeah.
And then, I suppose, and as long as the tattoo's happy to have you, or if not, we can find other things to do in that space over here in Scotland. So it works in well, sort of life has been built around it a little bit for the moment.
Yeah.
But look, it is just fantastic, and that the whole concept of the REMT pipes and drums and its global reach has just been fantastic for someone in my position here.
Yeah.
To be able to come from Tassie, to be able to get the opportunity to audition.
Yeah.
To be sort of lucky enough to be selected and to come over, and it just gives you that connection. And so from there, I suppose that for most bands in Australia, police bands are usually the most common conduit if you're going to try and get in.
Yeah.
And so then if you can't sort of get in with that, you're kind of a bit stuck. But this has just blown the lid off that.
Yeah.
And there's sort of talking to to guys who are new here this year, but ones who have been back from all corners of the globe, to find that that they're in that same opportunity that has been gifted to them.
Yeah, that's great. So just going back on that, so Bill, obviously it's your first time, so do you find that, I think that amalgamation of a lot of experienced players with very new players, do you find that quite helpful in your development and meeting all these pipers and drummers who have done something like this before, and they're feeding off their experience and taking that on board for yourself?
It's been amazing to see all the different backgrounds that people have come as, like yourself, John, and just the sheer talent that's in the group, and like coming from Canada, Brazil, people. Yeah, it's just amazing to see that the pipes are being taken up in all corners of the world.
Yeah,
and
having national, we have 16 nationalities. Do we? I think it's just Justin counted me 18, but it's 19 nationalities. That's incredible for one amazing group of body of people when you think about it. Yeah,
come from all corners of the world.
That's it. And as I sort of often say when I'm out there on the Esplanade before the shows, chatting to the crowd when they come in, is that we are the most multicultural pipe band in the world.
Yeah,
we're also the largest performing pipe band in the world. And we bring together a diverse group of people, some of whom English is not their first language, and yet music is our common language.
Yeah.
And so it's absolutely marvellous to have that come together in that way, and it just enriches the whole experience so much more when you have that diverse culture.
Yeah.
And yet we're able to sort of overcome any barriers there because we're all here to get the most out of the tattoo and to deliver for the tattoo. And then we're also just able to make that all work.
Yeah, I think you're right there. It's one of the greatest qualities that this band has, and it's probably one of the strongest assets that the tattoo have in its reach is the band, because you made a good valid point before. My very first tattoo was with the West Australia Police, but if it wasn't for the police band, I probably would have never had that chance to come to perform here. And traditionally, it's always been either being a strong school band that's been able to get to that level to perform here. I have the numbers to do it, or like you say, like a police band or a military band from some other country. But for a civilian, it's really difficult to find space in a team to get across. So this concept by the tattoo, it's obviously grown arms and legs, as they say, over the last sort of 10 years. But yeah, it's a really strong avenue for people if they want to take part and strive to be a part of this amazing show. So
it is, and I just think back to so he's freshly 18. Yeah, I don't think about where I was at as an 18-year-old, and going from Tasmania to a contest in Victoria was a big news. And so to be able to have an opportunity, obviously living local helps, but have an opportunity where there is this support structure for someone to come in and to feel supported and to be able to sort of have us enjoy that at your age. Yeah. Obviously you're here on your merits and you're here on your talent. And so to be able to then back it in, the fact is that you're 18 and here is a group that will look after you. And
they need to pass that down to the next one below you, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's great. So obviously this year's show is very different. There's a lot of new aspects to it that have been put in place with a new creative designer, with Alan. And so from my perspective, I think one of the big things that's been missing over for many years now, since the voice of the tattoo, Alistair, retired, was probably just a narrator or something to tie everything together. And this year, and obviously there's probably loads of YouTube clips up now on all over, so it's not really top secret anymore. But I think the narration side of it with Terence has really been a spark in the show again, and so that's been for so what has been something that stood out for you guys in particular to this year's show, that's something that you've seen that's been a highlight, or something that's this is actually for me it's one of the best ones that's been around for a while.
I totally agree, and I've certainly got a laundry list of positives. But I think really out of that is that the 3 years that we've had beforehand, if I think I'm right, it was the first civilian creative director, someone who really hadn't had any in the military. I think that was a brave move, but I think it was really brave that they kept at it for the 3, because there was criticism of certain elements that weren't there now and that sort of thing, but they stuck to their guns. And I think that one of the great things that's come out of it is that we've got a lot of traditional elements, and they are brilliant. But I think we've got some innovative stuff that may not have actually come out unless the tattoo had the courage to just rip the Band-Aid off after COVID and say, look, go for it. They've obviously, there are some sacred cows, mass pipes and drums, lone piper, they were going to stay. But pretty much after that, just go for it.
Yeah.
And he certainly did. And so whilst they might have said, we're going to have a traditional show this year, and it is, I agree with you, it's the strongest one that I've been in. But also there are some elements to it that I'm not sure would have come to light. Or if we had to have those years of just experimenting and doing things secretly.
I mean, the light, the effects and stuff on the castle is like world class. I mean, honestly, some of the stuff we're seeing this year, and that's exactly what, if we hadn't have had, you know, Michael put all that stuff and work in and basically go, right, you know, that there was a show previous and goes, actually, we should be doing a lot more in terms of the visual effects stuff. And I think, you know, that he was massively important for that role in changing how, I know, the silent performer, which is the castle, how it's used as a part of the show rather than just a backdrop with, you know, as a castle. You know, now we're seeing, you know, all sorts of different things projected onto it. It's unreal, really, when, you know, when we're not performing. I mean, I didn't even get to see half the stuff because we're out there performing. I've got my back to the castle, but when I've seen YouTube and seen some of the stuff, it's like incredible. So yeah, there's been, like you said, it's needed to, they've kept those traditional aspects, ripped the band-aid off and gone, right, how far can we push this? And then you know, they've stuck with it for 3 years and they've pushed as much as they can, and then now they've revised it and gone, well, actually, one of the big things that was missing was probably a narrator, and, you know, no one seemed to know what was going on half the time. So by adding that in now, and it's more of a story and a show. There's a theme about it, and I mean, one of the things for me is the music this year. It's like, I mean, maybe it's just a little bit old school, but, you know, we play a lot of great hits. We are now, even though it's condensed down some of the stuff, but, you know, like Amazing Grace, we sort of give a little burst of Amazing Grace through there, but I suppose you can't play everything. But yeah, I think from the musical aspect, it's just a really well thought out show, and everything seems to link really well. Yeah,
it's got this great flow to it that I just find amazing, because we come off and the mill band, they're already on the Esplanade by the time the drummers are away. It's just got this great, amazing feel to it, but feels, as you say, with Terence there as well narrating the whole thing.
Yeah.
It does tie it all together. And I think, I'm been to any of the tattoos previously, but I've heard that there's been reports that, we need more aspects and drums.
Yeah. Oh, well, but they definitely got, I mean, we're on, so I remember the last 3 years I've probably been on about 5 times on myself, and then everyone else were all, but this year the pipes and drums are on 5 times. Yeah, you know, realistically, so I'm sure you can enjoy it. Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's good to see, you know, that it's an important part of the tattoo, I guess.
You know, for the other guys just saying that being on only like 3 times or so, it was all right because you got a lot of rest, but it made the night pass a lot more slowly.
Yes. We don't stop now, yeah.
No, it is. There are no card games in the bowl.
There's like, you know, guys. But the people have always asked about more pipes than that. But that must have been an ongoing thing, because I do remember, and maybe I'm getting old now, but I'm pretty sure in 1997 we came out for, you know, obviously the opening sequence, which is, you know, it's on it being, and it'll never go. The most jumps to open, but I do remember having a lot of time in between, and we went out once more for a set 2. And then just the finale. So we're only really on 3 times, and I'm pretty sure that was the standard. You know, set 1, there was a set 2 which had some dancers and stuff to it, and then finale. And the finale went for like 50 minutes. It was an epic finale, and it's, you know, it used to drag on, to be honest. They've got it down to a T now with, you know, it's not dragging on and on. I guess a lot of people are always asking, and this will put this, the viewers are probably watching this going, you know, we should bring back Old Lang, you know, where's Old Lang Syne, all this. And I think, you know, the majority of people and even performers would love to see it back, but I think the problem that we have these days, and it's a real unfortunate problem, is just that it's a risk of creating in the audience that doubt of taking or participation, because there's still, as much as we're now sort of moving past COVID, there is a lot of people who still are afraid to shake hands or to, you know, have any contact with another person if they don't know who they are. And so, you know, if the Old Lang Syne thing came up during the show, and then you've got people, you know, tried to because it used to be people licking arms like this guy, and it's a you know, iconic piece of tattoos to have, but can you imagine the audience doing that and then people refusing to one pan, and it's the awkwardness of that, and then just told people not doing it, and then we basically put them in that scenario, in that situation. So I can see why that's not really come back yet. I think that's been the aftermath of COVID and the hesitation to input that again and create that within 9,000 people sitting there. And it's nice that we do play a small snippet of that in our set 2, I think. So it's been good that they've involved the fans a goal for today into the 75 years. So we've not completely excluded Auld Lang Syne. There is a hint of the melody coming through. So
it's homage to a prequel.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it's just an acknowledgement to that. I mean, you have that set that does all of that retrospective stuff.
Yeah.
And it's wall-to-wall bars. And then so having Auld Lang Syne in that is really, really important.
Yes.
And so it's acknowledging that it was there and it was part of that for 75 years. And I think that if you need to, put if not a full stop, certainly a heavy semicolon on the end of that, it's had its moment as being acknowledged and recognised as being important. But I think you're right, because not only is the possible people's reticence to maybe have that contact, but it's also what happens if it does suddenly have an outbreak and they do some epidemiological well, where go, I'm an edit back to answer this, that wouldn't go very well.
It's like, a lot of these big mass events for concerts, even in Australia, the ones that have happened at Optus, and, everyone's rolled in there. And I think my brother went to one actually once, saw a cricket or something like that, and, went home sick or caught, I was sick in the days, and then found out he, caught something. So it's like, that's the last thing. And what we would once we gone through the whole heard the tattoo lurgy as well. Well, that's what I mean. So imagine that there, and then they're coming into the cast, and they're just wiping the cast out. So yeah, I guess it's sad that we can't do it anymore in that vein. I mean, it'll always be a tune that we'll play in our bands and out at events and New Year's Eve and all stuff like that. But for the time being, it's probably just not the right place to put it back in. But we get to do it anyway.
Exactly. I think we did get it right this year. As you say, we did put certainly a heavy goal on, because that set 2 is possibly quite pretty. For me, it's one of my favourite sets, one of my 2, and to finish with that, it was pretty good.
Yeah. So obviously we're performing in the night time only. So the number we're obviously sitting here right now. So you're not doing your other things. So what do you get to in the downtime? I go downtime like this because obviously yesterday we were running around Glasgow playing pipes as well. So downtime. So yeah, what do you have to, John?
Now, I suppose there's a bit of a pattern to it for me now. So I mean, first week it's hell week, and you say that in the nice term of those wall-to-wall rehearsals, and then opening night, and that to me sort of defines week 1.
Yeah.
And then week 2, it's all about it's going to be opening night and things getting into the run, and then it's going to be filming nights, and then the week after that it's the Worlds, and so I've got a small participation with a band that goes to the Worlds, and so this week has been a lot more about getting ready for the World Championships. Yeah. And that band also has its own performances which come in tomorrow, so that just adds into the list of things.
Yeah.
And then finally in the final week of the shows, that stuff's now done for the year, and you can take it easy. So in the interim though, my business continues back home.
Yeah.
And there were 150 client sessions that needed to be done while I was away, and I've got a team there that are doing that. So you're doing the administration of that, putting up the little spot fires, paying people.
Yeah.
That still happens, but it's great from Australia with the 9-hour difference, because day is night and night is day.
Yeah.
So you get that opportunity at each end of the day, as we're probably all finding.
Yeah.
It makes it an easy time to hook up and link up and can do that sort of stuff. Yeah. And on top of that, when there's a bit of spare time, Sundays are obviously golden.
Yeah.
But I'm being a keen walker and hiker to get out and do some of those. But also, a chance to, if there's folk here who want to come out and do it, so I tend to sort of just put in all points. And for some of them, moving on a Sunday is probably too much for them. But for the ones who want to get out, and maybe again, if they've come from haven't been to Scotland before, and they see this just as a nice opportunity to get out and see the place that they might not have been able to get together for themselves.
Yeah.
And because again, my job is my hobbies is my passion, and so it's easier. It's just nice to share that with people. So, and that it's obviously saps the batteries in some ways, but it just revives me on that side of things. So that fills out my time pretty well.
Awesome, mate. You're very active. Yeah. How yourself, Bill?
Well, the days that we're not running about Glasgow, so I think we're killed still asleep. Well,
the student that all day long, it's
sleep. Yeah, is probably about it. But like in the afternoon, I do try to get out and enjoy Edinburgh. So I think it was last week that I went and read a book in one of the coffee shops. Had a nice coffee and cake. It was one of the nice shops.
that?
Yeah.
So the one just around the corner here.
Well, yes, one down the road.
Is it South or something?
Southport.
Yeah, it's a nice one there. And I go there every year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I've always bought it. Every time I go there, there's one of their band members is sitting in there.
I just saw Catherine Lindsay. Oh, they outside having a nice coffee. Yeah,
And there you go.
so yeah, it was really nice. On Sundays, I try and go see a bit of family. I've got family in Stirling.
Yeah.
So, took the train to visit the granny
Awesome.
in Stirling.
Yeah, but is that sort of thing? Is it we're in each other's pockets all the time?
Yeah.
And so in fact, and then different levels of sociability and stuff. And sometimes people just need, sort of joyful isolation. And it's not the same as being alone, but it's being isolated. And so there'll be times, and I guess I've grown more mindful of that over time. That if you're going to the food hall, there's one of the crew sitting there, you don't automatically they're going to want you to sit with them. It's they're going to say, do you want some alone time, or like sit down and have a chat? Yeah, and then that way at least just sort of acknowledging that.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's something that's very, we're lucky now with the way that the tattoo's set up, and we, where we're staying, which I, broadcast onto the vlog where we're staying. But in the old days, at Redford, it was like 18 people to a dorm, and you basically sleeping on top of each other, and then you're doing absolutely everything with each other. So by the end of the month, you're just like, well, get me out of here. Where here you do, aside from the show at night, where we become united as a team.
Yeah.
You really have the choice during the day whether you want to, spend time with more time with the band members, or go out and explore Edinburgh, or just have some quiet time to yourself. I mean, for myself, and then today was the first time I actually went out of the seat. Back of doing not very much for the last sort of 5 to 6 weeks. So yeah, I just use that. That's what I normally do when I come to Edinburgh. Is I really look forward to just exploring by foot as well, but more running stuff. And just going out, and then I'll just find a nice spot and then sit there for 20 minutes and then run back. And and that's sort of my downtime for just processing, and it's way better than just sort of sitting in my room and things like that.
But it was like first couple of days, but we were in Arthur's, and then we got the message from you saying tomorrow's practice has been cancelled. Tomorrow morning's practice has been cancelled.
Yes, yeah.
And we thought, go up Arthur's seat then. So there's a group of 5 or 6 of us. You went up the morning, went up in the morning. So it was really nice. Really young people, not in there.
Wouldn't have been my taking for it. I think I did see. Did I see you out there? Is that the one where you took? I was out running. I was like, that's them there, and I took a photo of them there.
And we tried to get a photo of you, but
I was already running off there.
Took a photo of the wrong situation.
I think it was the wrong year or something. I took right into the wrong person.
It's like you were stalking some random person.
It's good. So, last question. Okay, so because it's been a really good chat. So it's one I ask all the guys that are going to come into this, all my blogs and this sort of thing. So we also had a sparring. You guys were a sparring because you're pikers. What do you have in your sparring at night time?
For the single shows, I have a mobile phone. All the double shows,
You get a mobile phone in there? Well, that doesn't fit. That's a mobile phone in.
I think my sparring's about to be requisitioned to the Polynesia, I think. So you put on the double shows, I'll have a backup battery and a cable in there as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Like on a single show, I just have my phone in the sparring. But
Use phones in your pocket.
It's laziness and easy. But on a double show, I'll have a packet of Percy Pigs.
That's your little energy. Just be hard the way through in it.
Sometimes if I can fit a bit of iron brew in my pipe bag.
I just go to my humbug dealer at the back.
And so, iron brew in your pipe bag. I've never had that before. Yeah, so my phone sits in my pipe bag. Like, right. It's not a massive phone. Plus, I have an AirTag.
Yeah, right.
I have an AirTag, so half the band spend the time getting notifications.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, voluntary.
I'll be out for that dance set the 900. We'll be in the coal yard there. I'll see all these people pulling their phones out saying there's an AirTag for you. That's me.
That's all right. We know when you get this. Look busy.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's been a really cool chat. So, thank you for taking the time on your day off. Well, not day off, but, during the day to come onto my channel. And hopefully, I do know that people watching this, because when I was in Glasgow yesterday, a lot of the people I bumped into said, I love your vlogs. I'm really, so thank you to those guys that are watching it. But hopefully, meeting another 2 of my team here and their backgrounds and why they come to do this will inspire other people to give it a go, because we do get to do a special thing, perform in front of 9,000 people a night, and possibly, people are biased saying I'm probably going to be biased, probably the best stage in the world. Who gets to perform in front of a castle for 26 shows during summer in one of the most beautiful places in the world. So thank you, John. Thank you, Bill. And please subscribe to my channel. I need to throw that out. I don't do it, and it had me doing it for a while. So subscribe to my channel if you like it, and I'll see you in the next one. Catch you later.
Bye. Yep.
We're going to do this. Actually, everyone's been doing the hand.
Oh, yeah.
Right. 3, 2, 1.